Today I'm going to be giving you guys tips on how to prepare for an NPHC Greek D9 interview or interview process, which is the part of the rush. I did a recent video on how to prepare for an interest meeting. Make sure you guys go check that out. I'm gonna link it right here. But yeah, this will just basically be covering how to prepare for an interview and questions that may or may not be asked during that process. This video is gonna kind of be off the dome. I didn't really write a script for this video. I'm just kind of gonna go off the fly because I don't really need to write a script for this video. It's pretty straightforward. So guys, before we get into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button to support me, and make sure you hit the like button if you enjoy Greek content and you want to see more of it. And make sure you hit the post notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I do post a video. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So the first thing that you need to know while preparing for an interview, I would say to get an interview coach before you partake in, the rush process, the interview process, interest meeting, all that good stuff. Get an interview coach. Guys, this is no different than, preparing for a job interview. Some of the same questions will be asked during this process and during this interview. So get an interview coach. Make sure, you get one that'll really tell you where you're messing up at or things you can improve on during your interviews. And, just things to help you all around. The second thing is going to be to do your research on the organization and on the chapter, okay? I cannot stress that enough. Do your research on the organization, but the chapter is super important because a lot of people choke on that. You're supposed to know a lot about the chapter as well. You will be asked about the chapter. Of course, you need to know about the organization, but make sure you know about the chapter, all right? The main question that you need to prepare for is, man, I wonder how hard it will be to figure this out. Somebody tell me, why? Why do you want to be in this organization? Like, it's literally as simple as that. If you don't know your why, it's just like, that's not a good sign. I don't think I've ever seen someone not know their why and get in. So make sure you know your why. It should be a long, drawn out answer. For example, I did a video on why I joined Phi Beta Sigma. And, I think the video's between 10 and 15 minutes. I'm not saying during the interview process that, your answer should be that long, but make sure it's not just something quick like, oh, because of brotherhood, or, oh, I never had brothers growing up, or it's like, that's kind of a common answer. We know, we understand that, you didn't grow up with brothers or you didn't grow up with sisters, during your childhood, but, this is a business at the end of the day, and it's just like, what does that have to do with me, As bad as that sounds, it's just like, like, why? Okay, so why else, Is it just because you didn't have brothers? I mean, we get it, but it's just, why else? What have you seen our chapter do that interests you in our organization? I've seen this really trip a lot of people up because a lot of people think, if I just know a few things about the organization, then maybe I'll be in the clear. But it's like, nah, we want to know specific reasons because realistically, a lot of, if not all, of the D9 organizations serve the same principles, and it's usually centered around brotherhood / sisterhood, scholarship, service, things of that nature. So, we want to know why specifically our organization. And not only that, why specifically our chapter. Another question that I've seen being asked, questions that are far-fetched from what you may think you are going to be asked. Other questions that I've seen being asked are a lot of scenario-based questions. So really dig deep and think about, times that you've been through certain things and what you did to improve your actions on that. And that's just like applying for a job, just like getting a job interview. We want to know who you are at the end of the day. So make sure you provide whoever's interviewing you with specific details on what happened and what you did to improve it. Scenario-based questions such as, you know, how have you faced adversity in the past and what did you do to overcome it? Or can you tell me about a time when you had conflict with someone during a certain project or activity, and how did you grow from that or learn from that, and how did you go about that situation? Things like that, okay? Can you tell me about a time, or name a time when? Like, be prepared for questions like that. And that's not just for Greek interviews, it's for interviews in life too, interviews for jobs. Those are typical questions to get to know the candidate. So make sure you are having long, drawn out answers when you are asked these type of questions, because, you know, that's how we're gauging how you respond to conflict and how you respond to adversity. Another tip I would say, and not necessarily a question example, is that when you walk in the room, because, you know, COVID's not over, but things are in person again. And, you know, you're probably going to have the interview in person. So 9 times out of 10, your interview is gonna be like with almost the entire chapter. I'm not even gonna lie. It might be the whole chapter. So, you know, when you walk in, like, chest up, like, be confident, all right? Don't walk in slouched over, like looking down. They're gonna be like, oh man, this brother nervous. And I know you're nervous, all right? But you don't want to tell them that you're nervous, okay? And even if they ask, are you nervous? Just say no, all right? When you walk into the room, make sure you shake at least the e-board's hand. I mean, I know you won't be able to shake, you know, the entire chapter's hand, but, you know, present yourself. If you have a resume, make sure you pass it out, you know? Do things to represent yourself in a positive way. Make sure you look everybody in the eye. Make sure you present yourself in a way to where they're like, oh man, this is a confident brother. Like, cause that would make me want to let somebody in, I mean. Also, attire for the interview. Wear a suit, black suit, no other color. Black suit, all right? Women, black suit, all right? Men, tie. Make sure your tie is tied. Make sure you have a haircut, you know, you got your beard lined up, all that good stuff. The last thing I have for you guys, and it's another tip and not particularly example of a question, is know what you're putting on your resume, okay? This is extremely, extremely important. Know what you're putting on your resume, because you're going to be asked about something on your resume or something that, you know, you submitted during the application that has to do with you. If you don't know, you know, what you said or what's on your resume, and then they ask you about it and you're like, what? Like, say for example, you had an internship, right? And it was at a company like Google, right? And you didn't really do anything at Google. And they're like, hey man, can you tell me more about your position at Google, or what the, you know, job entailed? What did you do? What challenges did you face? And you're like, you know, it's just like, all right, like, cause then it's like, we're just gonna think you're just full of crap, honestly. But I hope this video helped someone out who is, you know, about to go through the process of the rush, and, you know, your nerves are all over the place. You like, dang, what questions are they gonna ask me? What should I do to prepare for it? I just told you some of it. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more Greek content, because I plan on doing a little bit more. And make sure you click the post notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a video. And with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.